Hi, and welcome to KirbKast. This is episode 3. I'm your host, Kirby Farrell, and today with me I have in the studio Carlos Gomes. How you doing, man?
Hey, Kirby, what's up? I'm great, man. How are you?
Dude, I can't complain. I'm glad you're part of the show.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, man. Appreciate it.
All right, so right at the bat, Carlos here is another fellow student at Full Sail University down here in Orlando, Florida. Right at the bat, what major are we going into?
I'm in music production. I'm starting the 7th month.
7th month of music production.
Mm-hmm.
Dope, man.
Yeah.
So I know that you're a musician. You play guitar, right?
Yeah, I play electric guitar. I've been playing since I was probably 11 years old. I got my first guitar when I was probably 10, but that doesn't really count like a guitar because I remember it was like this little thing that ran on batteries, and you could hardly call it a guitar. Uh-huh. But I mean, if it counts, yeah, since I was 10.
I mean, as long as you learned how to play, right?
Yeah.
And that's what matters. Good. All right. So is it just guitar that you mainly work on, or is there anything else that you like to dabble with?
Mostly guitar. Back in Venezuela. Yeah, I'm from Venezuela, by the way. Caracas, Venezuela.
All right, cool.
Back in my hometown, I started playing piano, and I started like learning all of these songs in my classes, but it really frustrated me because I couldn't learn the songs that I wanted to learn, and I always told my teacher like, hey, I want to learn this song or that song, and my teacher was always like, okay, right after this song we'll learn that, and I never learned anything that I wanted to learn. Well, there was one exception, which was the Pink Panther song.
Oh yeah,
yeah, the Pink Panther. Yeah, and I was like, come on, I want this song and that song, and the teacher was like, well, I can teach you the Pink Panther, and I was like, all right, the Pink Panther is okay, why not?
Did you ask to play the Pink Panther, or was that just something he threw in your face just to like shut you up?
I mean, I kind of asked for it, but it wasn't like my main option. I was like, I don't know, like I wanted like, I don't know, Elton John or Supertramp, and then it was like, I don't know, like Pink Panther or something, anything. And he was like, okay, let's do Pink Panther.
Sounds like you got lucky. Like it sounds like something he did know off the top of his head. He's like, okay, I can satisfy this kid. All right, do you like Pink Panther?
Yeah,
I know that.
Maybe he was a Pink Panther fan and he didn't want to tell me that.
I mean, it's a catchy little.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like it.
It's still the only song in piano I know today, and I don't even know it complete. I just know the intro, like dun, dun, dun. That's the only thing I know how to play.
I got you.
In piano right now. But I mean, I really like the piano, but yeah, that frustrated me, and I stopped playing because of that, and I really regret it to this day because piano is a really important instrument, and I've been trying to start playing again. But yeah, I'm saving money to buy like a MIDI keyboard or something to practice.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I have a friend that plays piano, and he said he will help me, so I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, there you go, man. It's all about those connections. That's how you get better at things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in that academy before, I mean, I was in an academy that teaches music, and they teach a lot of instruments to the students. And I started to play piano because of that, but before that, I used to play the flute and the xylophone.
Xylophone?
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like everybody played that at the beginning. I don't even remember anything, And then I always wanted to play the guitar, and when I got out of piano, I was like, I told my mom, I really want to play the guitar. Because by that time, by when I was like 8 years old, I already heard, bands like, I don't know, the bands that you start with, like Guns N' Roses and Metallica and Green Day and, those bands that you get started with,
classic rock bands. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I started listening to that, and I was listening to that all day, every day. And I told my mom, I really want to play the guitar, and she was like, yeah, sure. And that's when they gave me the little guitar that I told you.
Your little toy guitar.
Yeah, the toy, the one that ran on batteries. And I started with that. Then, right after I got that guitar, we moved to Mexico when I was 10 years old. and we lived there by like 4 years, yeah, maybe. And right there, where in Mexico was it was the place where I really started to play the guitar.
Where did you live up in Mexico?
In Monterrey, Nuevo
Mhm.
León. It's
Okay.
right beneath Texas.
Ah, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Right, on the border. I feel you. All right.
Yeah, I was like 2 hours away from McAllen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Neat.
so every time we wanted to do some shopping or anything, we just went to McAllen and
I
then
got
came
you.
back.
Just come back and forth. I feel you.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So, are your family currently in Mexico as we speak, or?
No. Yeah, I lived, like I said, I lived in Mexico for years,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went back to Caracas.
Okay.
To Venezuela.
And you came to the States for school, correct?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
man. Awesome. All right. Well, you say that Guns N' Roses and Green Day, you try to listen to all these, great bands, and that really made you want to like play the guitar more and more, right?
Yeah, those were the bands that got me started with everything.
Gotcha.
Guns N' Roses, Green Day, U2 also.
Of course,
Mhm.
yeah. All right. Well, a simple question would be: out of all these bands that you've been listening to, or when you listened to when you were younger, say who's your number one favorite? Whose song or what song did you really just were dying to get down?
Like back then or still?
Oh, still,
Still?
yeah.
I don't know. It's really, really hard to pick a song, Like, I don't have a favorite song. And I
Okay.
mean, songs, they come and go.
Mhm.
There's sometimes...
The life of a musician, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you, like, are listening every single day to this song, and then you just, like, forget about it,
Yeah.
But I mean, talking about bands, I mean, Green Day was the one that, I mean, I owe my love to music to Green Day because, I was like 8 years old and I remember that was my first record. American Idiot was my first record.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a kick butt band. Dude. That was the first album that I heard of Green Day's that I liked, like American Idiot. So
Yeah. And the story of Jesus of Suburbia and all of that, you know.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I remember I was walking in the record store with my dad, and I saw the cover of the album, like this white hand with the
with the heart grenade. Yeah.
heart grenade, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, I want that. I want that album. That looks really cool." And my dad was like, "Okay, let's buy that." And my dad was like concerned. He was like, "Hey, that's not real blood, right, or anything?" And I was like, "Yeah, Dad, I know. Don't worry."
It's just the art that got me, Dad. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And yeah, I started listening to that album, and that's where it all started. So that's one of my favorite albums.
So
of all
that's like
time
when
because
you
of that.
discovered rock itself.
Yeah.
That's when it just grabbed you and you loved it right at the bat.
Yeah, and I started when I was that age, probably until, I don't know, 13 years old. Rock was the only thing that I listened to. I didn't like to listen to anything else.
Same way with me, man.
Yeah, but then I started to listen to a lot more things, rap, for example, Latin music like salsa. There's a really good singer of salsa called Oscar de Leon. He's from Venezuela.
All right.
Yeah, and my grandma used to listen a lot to him, so I started like listening to him too.
Something you could appreciate.
Yeah. I started appreciating like many kinds of music.
I mean, you
And-
got to. I mean, that's,
Yeah, and when I decided that I wanted to study music production, I was like, okay, I have to listen to everything now,
Mhm.
And I think I've done a good job like tolerating kinds of music that I didn't tolerate it before. You know what I mean, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Just so you can get a different feel of it because, music theory, at the end of the day, it is all about just discovering what everybody brings to the table, different types of music, what do they offer?
Mhm.
What are the strengths and weaknesses to country compared it to goth rock?
Yeah.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, and it's also, and as a producer, I think that you also need to, I mean, if you don't like a genre, it's okay, but I think that you need to have the ability to recognize when something is good or when it's bad.
Oh, definitely.
In any genre, and to know to do that, you need to know the genre and listen to it.
There's things in here that you have to appreciate,
Mhm, yeah.
If it's just some cheeky blonde up there just singing about a breakup and, she didn't even write the song, she's got people paying for them. At the end of the day, you're going to figure out, was the song really something that came from her or is it just a cheeky paid up script?
Yeah.
What is there to be appreciated? Like, You say Green Day. Would you say Green Day maybe your favorite band? I know you don't have a favorite song.
It's not my favorite band, but I mean,
They were a gateway to you.
Yeah, gateway, and at that moment they were my favorite band. Yeah,
Of course.
But yeah, as I've been discovering like a lot of new bands and new artists, I've had my favorite artists like maybe per year or per 5 years. Like, this is my favorite artist for these 5 years, and then you just like stop listening to it because you're already listening to it too much.
You don't want to turn around and hate them because you listen to them too much.
For example, Metallica was my favorite band also.
Great band.
Yeah, I still listen to them once in a while.
Same here.
But yeah, I used to listen to them every day at every single hour. Every album, every song. And I actually had the opportunity to see them live in Mexico, and it was amazing. By that time, they were my favorite band, so I was like freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I asked my dad to go with me to the concert, and I remember it was really funny. My dad kind of likes Metallica. I mean, he's like, yeah, I like them, but the songs are too long.
Because they're ballads, man. They're metal ballads.
Yeah, and
they tell stories.
Metallica songs, like maybe before the Black Album, they're long songs.
Oh yeah, when they were young and they were just
like
they had
8-minute song. Yeah,
they were crazy.
I remember it was they were starting to play Sad But True.
Mm-hmm.
And these two guys like grabbed my dad and they started headbanging the whole song. And my dad was like, "What do I do?" And he just started like going with it. And I was like, "Yeah, Dad, you're a metalhead now." Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I actually in Mexico I had the opportunity to see a lot of concerts, to go to a lot of concerts.
Yeah, I know Mexico's a big touring destination.
It's Monterrey, Mexico City, and I believe that Guadalajara are. I believe, I'm not sure, but it's Monterrey and Mexico City. They're the two places in Mexico that I believe they're the two places that get more. They're
the biggest hot spots for concerts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They are California and New York. That's Mexico's big destination.
Yeah. I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, the Monterrey Arena. Mm-hmm. There was one year that they were. I think they were one of the 3 arenas in the world that brought more artists to that place.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of fans down there. I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, the first concert I saw was I don't like to call it Guns N' Roses because it was only Axl Rose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was only Axl. Axl played the tour that they made. That he played the Chinese Democracy tour. That was
yeah.
That is what it was only him.
And you got to see that?
Yeah. It was a good concert, but Axl, he likes making people wait like for 3 hours. So.
He's really all about himself. I know that much.
Yeah. I remember reading this article that back in the 90s, he has always been like that. I mean, my dad saw them in Caracas in the 90s,
mm-hmm.
and he told me that the guys like made people wait like 4 hours.
Oh yeah,
insane. And Axl, it was raining, and they were like, "Where's the band?"
Axl was the type of guy that would fight his own fans, and he would keep people waiting. I remember where because Guns N' Roses, they made it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and I remember I saw that on TV, and Axl didn't show up to his acceptance speech. Ironically, Green Day was the one that was announcing all the bandmates, congratulations to, and they got to Axl. All 3 of them just did the thing where they just looked around and it was like, all right, no Axl Rose, and they just put the trophy right next to him.
Yeah.
Great singer, great guy. Not man enough to show up to his own, acceptance speech, whatever. But
that sucks, man.
He's got some vocals.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I remember reading this time like that back in the 90s, they were making people wait somewhere. I don't remember the place, but that this guy, I don't know if it was one of the engineers or one of the crew of the tour, knocking on his door like, "Hey, it's time for the show." And Axl was watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he was like, "Okay, let me finish the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode, and I'll be outside."
Wow.
Yeah, making people wait for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dude, what a dick.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, hold on, okay? Raphael's about to kick some ass. Give me a second.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So X Rolls is a punk, but you got to see him live. Was it at least a good show?
Yeah, it was a good show. Yeah,
Was it worth the wait?
Yeah, I mean, I was like 10 years old, you know. So
Yeah, you were just like, man, I really want to see
yeah,
this
I was
band.
like, oh my god, it's Axl Rose and it's Guns N' Roses, and
Did you even know that he was late, or did your dad or somebody have to tell you that he was late for show?
no, I knew he was late. I mean, I actually went with my uncle and my aunt,
Okay.
and they were like, oh my god, this guy, like, where is he?
Who does he think he is?
Yeah, and people were pissed off.
I believe it, man. Like, I mean, if the show is supposed to start at 1 and the bus doesn't show up till like 6, like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, the only reason you are up there is because you have fans. You may have talent, but you could be the best singer in the world. But if people don't like you, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah.
And that's what something
You're
Axl, I don't think, to this day, I don't know. I think dude's in his 60s, I think, but I don't know, but I don't think he still grasps that concept.
His ego is way too high.
Oh, I think I thought Kanye's ego was high.
Kanye is a whole new level. Yeah, don't get me started with Kanye West.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a big appreciation for rock and roll, which I love. To me,
Yeah.
that's my favorite genre.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
I remember when I grew up, like Lil Wayne and Eminem, TJ City, all these people, all these artists, what people listened to back when I grew up in, high school and middle school. And me, I was still discovering bands like Blue Oyster Cult,
Yeah.
Aerosmith. I mean, all these old big boy bands. I just love the sound of it, man. Like, people call me old fashioned just because of the music I listen to. I mean, I have a record player and all that, and all I have is like Beatles and Rolling Stone albums.
Yeah.
But to me, I love that music. It just describes me. I mean, that's part of the reason why I became a musician, is because I just love the feel, man. It's kind of hard to explain sometimes, but rock is my life, man.
Yeah.
Rock and roll
totally
forever.
get you. I totally get you.
Yeah. All right. So I got a question, because you started out a little bit of piano and you even blew some air in a flute. Where does your musical background come from? Is there anybody in the family that played before you? Who do you think you get it from?
Actually, I don't think there's anybody that plays an instrument in my family.
Oh, yeah?
Not that I know of. I mean, my mom used to sing in the church, but that doesn't count.
Do you not sing enough, or?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen her sing. She's just like, no, I used to sing in the church.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, but I've never seen you sing, like, and it's not like a
Prove it, mama.
yeah, yeah. What I mean is, like, it's not like I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody in my family that dedicated their life to music like I'm doing right now. It was more like a hobby. Yeah, that's why I say it doesn't count.
Yeah. First, it was for fun.
Yeah. And yeah, that my mom, she used to sing for fun. So
Yeah.
but I do have this aunt, the sister of my mom, and she listens to a lot of music, and she has introduced me to a lot of artists that I'm like really grateful to know right now. For example, this artist is also very influential for me. Beck.
Oh, yeah. I love Beck.
Beck is amazing.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I really admire the artists that can be really eclectic, like David Bowie, for example, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that they
Rest
can.
in peace, Bowie.
Yeah, rest in peace, David Bowie. Yeah, definitely. I really admire when an artist can be so unpredictable that you don't know what he's gonna do next for the next album.
Yeah.
And I think that Beck is one of the few musicians that bring that to the table today. And he's amazing. I mean, if you and I think that's something that's missing from the industry right now, that innovation and being unpredictable, like in your projects, and being more creative, and
Yeah, I feel you.
yeah, people, I believe that right now people are getting used to like stick to one thing. Like, okay, I had a hit song doing this, and so I'm gonna do this for the rest of my career.
Yeah, it sounds like something Nicki Minaj does.
Yeah, and you get repetitive,
Yeah, to the point you just sound like a broken record.
Yeah.
It's just boring at times.
Yeah.
Kudos to you when you get that hot single out there that that has a great catch that everybody loves. That's a lot of one hit wonders that happen. But you can't. There's a good way and a bad way to work off your success. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I get it, but there's nothing wrong with modifying. And that first song hits, and it's a hit. You try to work with it. Don't work with the same material, man. It's just gonna get boring after a while.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I agree with you. A lot of artists are doing that because they have enough following where I guess they think they feel comfortable knowing that I got tons of fans out there. They're gonna buy it. They're gonna see me. I can half-ass this project. It's no big deal, dude. Like quality.
Yeah.
I mean, where is it in your music, dude? I mean, you're a musician. You're an artist. Really put yourself in there, not the people that you pay to do it. And if you write your own music, that's awesome. But make sure it's Carlos, dude. Don't.
Yeah.
When Kanye just puts his name and everything, I feel like sometimes that's not even Kanye, dude.
Yeah.
That's not even him. I mean, where's the expression? Excuse me. Where's the expression?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Where's the flair at, bro?
Yeah, so my aunt, she has introduced me to artists like Beck, and also many like from other genres. Like there's this rap group called Digable Planets,
All right.
which is really amazing. And yeah, everything. I mean, since I was a little kid, she's like the #1 fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, so she has like all of their albums and shit. And she was the one that introduced me to them also. And I've like till this day, we still talk and like, hey, listen to this new band, or hey, listen to this thing I've heard, and yeah. I mean that I think she's the only music like
Musician?
musician in my family.
All right.
Like,
all right.
I mean, she doesn't play anything, but she's the one
Yeah,
that
but
she's the one that appreciates it more.
Yeah,
you know?
she's big into music.
Yeah,
There's
and
nothing wrong with that,
yeah, she's really into it, and
Everybody needs a fan. Yeah.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and she has taught me a lot of things, man.
All right. Well, what how long? Okay. Again, how long have you been playing music instrumentally? How long?
Well, I'm gonna start with the guitar because it's the instrument
That's your
that
main instrument.
my
That's what
main
you're doing
instrument.
today. That's what you want to do as a career. Correct.
Yeah, so 10 years old.
10 years. Okay, neat. And you are 18 or 19?
I'm 19.
19. Okay, so going on for 9 years. And as you, I'm sure you know, full set, there's tons of other musicians that are just swarming around. And how do you feel when you see another guitarist, and that he or she's better at you at it? And does that make you ever want to like try a little bit harder, or just want to put the instrument down and be like, okay, I don't even know if I can compete with that one?
No, I mean, when you meet, I mean, you can, I believe that you can never say that you're the best at something. Like,
Of course.
Like, no, I'm the best at guitar, I'm done, Like, there's nobody better than me.
Yeah, Axel.
I think that when you find someone that's better than you, just, keep practicing. And if you think that you're the best, then find someone better than you and keep practicing. It's there's no reason for putting your instrument down.
Good. I agree with you there. I always see it as an inspiration to give me a kick in the butt. Like, all right, that's an example.
Yeah, and
I'm
it
gonna get
actually
better.
motivates you. Like, yeah, when you see like people turning great projects, or like, yeah, this guy plays amazing guitar, you're like, hey, I think I can do that too, and you push yourself,
Yeah,
and
that's what makes you better at the end of the day.
yeah, definitely.
All right.
You should never leave your instrument for a reason like that. Never.
Always stay behind it. I got you.
Yeah.
So now that you're here, I gotta know, because you're the first person on the show that we got that is from not even from the States, from a whole different country.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you would go over the border for groceries and all that, but how big of a difference is here from Mexico and Venezuela, man? Like, what are some big wow moments for over here?
Like differences from the United States and Mexico and Venezuela?
Yeah, like, just tell us about it.
Well, I think that
Big question. I understand.
yeah, it's a big question. I mean, I think that the people here are really different. I mean, not in a bad way, but it kind of you need to get used to like the humor of the people here. You know, sometimes it's like kind of difficult to like get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different catch. I got you.
Yeah, it's a different culture.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't really know. I mean, I really need to think about it.
It's fine. I guess an easy step would be like, I guess from weather, is it hot in Venezuela? Is it chilly compared to Florida? Because
No,
over here, Florida is the
Florida,
hottest state.
No, Florida is really hot. I mean, in Venezuela we kind of get the same weather throughout the whole year. Obviously, we have December and January, which are a little bit colder.
Okay.
But I mean, it usually stays like between the same range of weather throughout the whole year.
I guess maybe like the 70s, degrees. Is that a good?
I don't really
guess?
I don't use Fahrenheit.
Oh, you don't. You didn't
No,
even care. Okay.
No, and
I
yeah,
got
we
you.
use Celsius. We use Celsius in
All right.
Venezuela.
Well, it is a different culture over here without Joe. I mean, it's a huge country, and the best part about America is that you can be whatever you want over here.
yeah,
The whole freedom of speech idea is pretty neat. I mean, I got a buddy who, he's a friend. He's an atheist, but where he lives, nobody respects him. But yeah, he's an atheist. He's a homosexual, and he's a good friend of mine. And he just keeps on smiling with all the hate that he gets. But I was like, if I were you, appreciate it, which he does. He's like, you have to appreciate these things because in other countries, just the way you live, man, like, I mean, you get stoned most of the time.
yeah. But obviously here, it's really different from Venezuela.
Mhm.
I mean, my country is going through a really tough time right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't want to really get into politics here.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I know this is not a politic podcast or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going.
Venezuela's just going through a rough patch right now.
Yeah, really rough. Yeah, there's a lot of resentment in the society. There's scarcity. Products are regulated. Yeah, it's really difficult to live there. We have one of the highest inflations in the world.
Dang, I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough there. But I mean, I'm really happy that I got the chance to come here and study. Have better opportunities.
Take the most of what you got going on right now.
Yeah, and I mean, there's starting to. There's been some good changes in the country lately, like the past elections in December of the assembly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like the opposition won that election, and yeah, I don't want to really get into this, but my point is that it's starting to get better,
Yeah.
and I really hope it like in the next years it keeps doing that.
Venezuela's your home. Just keep them in thoughts.
Yeah, of course.
And of course,
yeah.
America, just like any other country, man. I mean, we all have our crap we have to go through sometimes.
Yeah, we have great bands, by the way, in Venezuela.
That was my next question, actually. Like,
Yeah.
from America to Venezuela, how's the music? Like, what have you seen over here that you really appreciate other than Beck and Green Day?
I mean, like in Venezuela, we have great bands.
Yeah.
We have really great. I mean, Latin America in general. There's this band that's one of my favorite bands of all time. It's a legendary band. It's called Soda Stereo.
Okay. What genre are they?
They're rock, but they're 80s. They're 80s and 90s rock.
Are they like Spanish rock? Or?
Yeah, it's in Spanish. Yeah, they're from Argentina.
All right.
And yeah, they are amazing. Gustavo Cerati, which is the lead vocalist. He's one of the greatest leaders. Greatest leaders in the rock, Spanish rock history.
Okay.
And he's one of my main influences.
He's
too.
an icon.
Yeah, he's an icon, definitely.
Awesome.
Rest in peace, by the way, Gustavo Cerati.
Yeah. Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah. In Venezuela, we have really good bands. There's also a rock movement in Venezuela, but I believe that it doesn't really get the attention that it should get.
You think so?
Yeah, people. Most of the people listen to music like like Latin music and EDM and reggaeton. That like
I know EDM's really picking up.
yeah,
this year.
yeah, and people listen more to that. I mean, there is a movement and there's people that appreciate it, but we need more people.
I got you. More fans to get this shit going. I got you.
Yeah, that's why there are actually two bands from Venezuela. One of them is like one of the most famous bands that has gone out of there. It's called La Vida Bohem. They even have a song in FIFA. I believe it's FIFA 12.
Oh yeah,
maybe, yeah. And
the soundtrack.
Yeah, and in GTA they also have one song in the.
It's pretty good to get on like a big label.
Yeah, and they and another band called O'Kills, which I also like a lot. They both have moved to Mexico, to Mexico City to start a movement there. To start playing there, to start like evolving there as a band. And and actually Mexico City is a really good place to go for artists, because there's so many people there. It's one of I believe it is the city with most population in the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I mean if 1% of the population listens to you, like you already have thousands of people. Like a lot of people listening to your music.
The population is so mass, and being a starting up artist, I bet you're right. It does sound like a good chance for if you want to be a musician. Yeah. Get a band or get yourself out there. That's something I can appreciate from Mexico.
Yeah, and that's why these two bands, La Vida Bohem and O'Kills, they moved to Mexico.
Yeah, to get a lot more followers. That's smart.
Yeah, it is smart. Yeah.
Yeah, well, good for them, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, I have a lot of influences in Venezuela. Yeah, there are really good bands there.
Well, speaking of bands, have you ever had experience? Have you ever been in a band of your own? Ever played with other people?
Yeah, back in Venezuela, those 4 years that I stayed there, after I moved back from Mexico.
Yeah.
I started a band with a cousin. It was called Tráfico Libre, which translates to free traffic.
Free traffic.
Yeah, it sounds weird in English, but yeah, it sounds better in Spanish.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And we were playing throughout those 4 years, and we actually accomplished things that we are that I am proud of, and I'm sure they are too. We participated in a festival it was only for people that were studying in schools, for 2 years. It was called Fila Festival. In the first year, we didn't do that good because we were starting and we only had like 3 songs, But the next year, we played, and my cousin won best bass player because they gave awards in the end.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the awards were after the show, but like weeks after the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you had to go and like see the nominees and all of that. It was really cool, actually.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and we got nominated for best band. I was nominated for best vocalist. I sang, by the way, in the band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it started like, we were looking for a vocalist and we couldn't find anybody.
So you had to make do.
Yeah, my friends were like, "Hey, why don't you do it?" And I was like, "Okay." And when I got nominated, it was like, "Okay, I guess I'm doing it good,
I'm decent enough. People are liking me.
Yeah, I got nominated. Like, yeah.
Hey, all right.
And
I bet that was a good feeling, huh?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And in that festival, there were like really good musicians from Venezuela. So those are points in your life, like when your work gets recognized by someone who is really good at what they do, and someone that's really important. Those are points in your life that you say like, I'm good at what I'm doing.
It goes a long way when somebody else that that they're good at something, and when they give you the same compliment, that can really carry you on somewhere.
Yeah, and it keeps you going. It actually keeps you going.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably without those kind of experiences, I wouldn't be here right now. Like, I would have just studied something else.
When I started playing the drums in the 6th grade, my grandfather, who he's in a band right now with Elvis Presley's guitar player.
Oh, cool.
I don't know the guy's name right off the top of my head, but he's the drummer for that band, and they just play nothing but like bluesgrass and Jerry Lee Lewis, and of course Elvis. And I remember going to his house sometimes, and besides blowing air into an instrument, he could play any instrument: bass, piano, organ, the drums, even a little bit of harmonica. And I was just so blown away, like how pretty it sounded. He always looked like he was having fun with it. And as a kid, I really wish I appreciated it a whole lot more, because he would be playing Billy Joel on the piano. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've heard this song before. But my mother, she was like, oh, that's a beautiful song. Today, I would just sit there and, if we were still connected, I would still just like, dude, just sit down, play me stuff, man. I want to hear what I was hearing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But he's the reason why I became a drummer. I saw him play one day, and I just felt the beat, and it looked just like so much fun, so much energy. And I was like, that's me right there. That's what I want to do. And as it later went on, I got a small compliments here and there that, just like you, it kept me going. It's like, oh, wow, Kirby, dude, that was awesome. Like, we would play at our little talent shows. We wouldn't ever win anything big like first place, but we would always get like People's Choice Award because people loved our energy. And I mean, I still got the trophy like in my closet up there. It helps, as a musician, it goes a long way. And you're satisfied, and you feel comfortable with it, and you want to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So I got respect with you there, bud.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Well, of all these artists that you keep naming, sadly I can't pronounce, but I was born in Arkansas. I wasn't really pushed around much Spanish, but I got great respect from different cultures, because I know it's a whole nother world over there. It's a different ball game, and if I could, I would love to get involved with that. But out of all these guys that you keep talking about, who of all of them would you want to play with the most, if you had the option to?
The Venezuela guys?
Any of them, man. They could be Green Day for all it matters. Who do you think of all that you would it'd be an honor to be on stage with?
Yeah, I think Beck.
Beck?
Yeah, Beck. Right now, I would love to play with him. I mean, he's so creative, man. And it's what I said. He's innovative, unpredictable, and I mean that I think that those are the best musicians to like work with,
because he's so unique.
Yeah.
And there's definitely not a lot of him in the market right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man, I got you.
But yeah, I mean, and I would also love to play like, I mean, if he was still alive, like Gustavo Cerati, I would love to play with him.
The legend.
Yeah, the legend. Yeah.
I feel you out. Same way with John Lennon, dude. I would love to like meet that guy and just pick up some wisdom from him.
Yeah. And Paul McCartney too. I would love to play with Paul. I mean,
Paul's my number one favorite.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
dude's a master. Shout out to Paul out there. Well, in today's society, not when Paul was walking around with the whole band. In today's society, social media is a big key to getting your name out there. If you want to do something with your music.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go by Carlos Gomes on the internet, or do you have any appearance of right now? Or are you still in the working? What's up?
I'm still working on it, but I do have a SoundCloud of my old band in Caracas. If anybody wants to listen to it, it's called Tráfico Libre. TRAFICOLIBRE.
I can put it in the description for you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thank you. Tráfico Libre. If you look for it on SoundCloud, you should see two accounts at the beginning. They're both ours. There's one song in each account, and it's in Spanish, of course. But if anybody wants to check it out, it would be cool.
I'd like to check it out. I've never really got into Spanish rock before.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm still working on a lot of stuff with some friends of the university. I'm definitely when I come back to the show, I'll be ready to share a lot of things with you guys.
Now, what do you think? And that's awesome, by the way. I'll be sure to people to check that out. So is that the only thing you got right now, just for social media wise?
The band?
I get for Carlos yourself,
Yeah, that's the only thing I have so far.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm working on stuff.
Of course, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, keep on that because that's what's going to get you to the next level, buddy. When it's the best way to get discovered, and
definitely.
it's definitely an advantage that people back in the day didn't. First it was walking around putting out your mixtapes in people's hands. Even though people still do it today, the internet's just everywhere. So definitely take advantage of that, and I promise you can see results.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, speaking of that, I'd like to make a shout out to whoever the fan was that sent me a who was it?
It was I think it was Barbra Streisand.
A Barbra Streisand record on vinyl and everything. Whoever sent that to me, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Never got into Barbra, but it's pretty decent. Pretty decent. I like it. All right, so we still got a couple time left. I got a couple more questions here for you.
All right.
When it comes to artists, like I guess we could take Beck for example. When it comes to him, what is the major key that he brings to the table? Is it really the uniqueness, or is it like the fact that he can hop to different styles? What do you have that's most respect for this guy?
Yeah, I think that all of that, like the uniqueness or the the jumping from different styles, from one style to another. I think that all becomes one thing, and that's the thing. That's the thing that I think it's, more. Like the best thing that these artists have to offer, and that what he brings to the table, I believe that it all becomes one thing.
Okay, all right, dope, man.
Yeah, cool.
Is there anyone else that you really got into favors for other than Beck? Like anyone else out there?
I love the Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Arctic Monkeys. Mostly I'm mostly a fan of their older stuff.
Yeah, I like Brian Storm is my favorite. That and Who the F Are the Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah,
like I think those
amazing.
are my two favorite songs.
Yeah, the first album is one of my favorite albums of all time. I mean, it's,
what was that called again?
Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not.
Okay.
Amazing album. I mean, it's like from start to finish, it just gets you going. It's really. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pump blooded, man. Like they got a lot of energy, and especially if you
really
listen.
Energetic,
If you listen to the song Brian Storm, that's pretty much a good gif of what the Arctic Monkeys like, what they have in stored.
Yeah, and I really like also the things they are doing now, and that's also a thing that I like about. I mean, I think that what makes a really good band is that they have the ability to evolve through time. You can't, like I said before, you can't stay with the same sound. And I think that the Arctic Monkeys are a perfect example of that. And obviously the Beatles, which I think that they were the first guys to ever do that.
Yeah, they pull out multiple genres and they nailed it.
Yeah, like they started being like this. At the beginning it all did sound pretty much the same, like.
Yeah, they were doing what a lot of artists were doing. Like, I don't know if it was additionally called rock and roll back in like the 60s and the 50s, but they were doing the same style. And back in the day, you were allowed to play whoever's music too, make your own covers and put them on albums. You were allowed to do that. Back then everybody was just so friendly. But you're right. As time moves on, things are changing, and if you want to stay on the top, you got to roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
And changing if it means changing to different genres, trying out a new sound. If you really want to be with, on the top charts, you got to see where the career's taking you. Where you're gonna go with.
Yeah, and I think the biggest change they made was with Sgt. Pepper.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band.
Yeah, you can feel and you can see the transition and the difference between the older stuff and the new stuff. And the White Album and Abbey Road and
the White Album is one of my favorite albums because of just like how big of a jump they pushed into there.
Yeah, and that's why I think that they are also a great example of that. And yeah, I think that's what make a really good band. And I also believe that bands should evolve, but they also shouldn't like lose themselves.
Shouldn't drift away from the original.
Not like the original, but like the essence of the band.
Yeah, the meaning of it.
Yeah, like Arctic Monkeys, they're still a rock band, and
Yeah.
that's
And
I
they
mean,
shouldn't
they've
forget
changed, but they are a rock band.
it. Yeah, they're going to stay as the Monkees.
Yeah. For example, and I'm sorry, Coldplay fans. I really like Coldplay, but for example, like the "Sky Full of Stars" song.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I feel when I listen to it, I actually felt like it was more like a song that a DJ would release, and Avicii produced it. You know.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he produced some of the songs in the album, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna release that, I mean, the song is not bad, but if you're gonna release it, it's like don't release it as Coldplay, you know, because it's just like it's not the essence.
So you're saying that song Coldplay released, it wasn't a Coldplay song?
Yeah.
Why do you say that mainly?
You know, because I mean, it's what I'm saying that bands should evolve through time. But I mean, the song was just like a DJ song.
Oh, really? Like,
I mean,
like
that's
EDM
how
or
that's how I
pop?
feel about it. Probably not EDM, but I mean, it.
It just didn't sound like something Coldplay would do.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it's good to be unpredictable. It's good to like jump from different genres, but I believe that you have to keep the essence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they're just giving it a trial, you know? I mean...
Yeah, no, and I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, and the song is not bad either.
It's just not something you expect at Coldplay. I understand.
Yeah, like I said, it's good to be unpredictable,
Yeah.
but you need to keep the essence.
I agree with you there.
But there are some exceptions, like I believe Radiohead is an exception. You know, like that jump from OK Computer to Kid A.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge jump. And it's really unpredictable, like something that you wouldn't expect Radiohead to do, but it's really, really, really good. You know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think I am explaining myself here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's my opinion too. I mean, I do like Coldplay.
Trust me, I don't think anybody's going to come and find you for your opinion, man. It's the best part again. You get to say what you want, be what you want, dude.
Yeah, no, sure. Just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, I got you. I'm trying to think of a band that made me feel the same way. I want to say Tyler, but it's not like I didn't, you know. And I'm not saying you hated the Coldplay deal, but like, did you like Tyler the Creator at all? Do you know Tyler?
Yeah, I know Tyler the Creator. Yeah,
Right.
some of his songs. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not huge into like rap and hip hop. I mean, as funny as it says, I love the Beastie Boys, but I know that barely counts. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not big into Tyler's genre, but I am a fan because he's different. And he had the album Wolf come out, and that thing was just kick ass. Like I got a T-shirt and everything of it. It was awesome. And then the next album comes out, which was Cherry Bomb, and when I listened to it, it was not what I was expecting. You know, Tyler, I think rapper, but I recently found out that he's just way more of a producer, and that's exactly what he did in this album. I think there was about like maybe 3 or 4 songs in his album that there was no vocals, and if there was, it wasn't him rapping. It was just, you know, instrumental stuff of him playing synths and all. It was just him it was just him producing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that. And at first I was all like, all right, Tyler, if you're trying something different, I get it, bro, but this isn't not you. And then I found out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
When I say that.
I'm the dumb one and figured out that Tyler produces about all the stuff. And this sounds like something a jazz guy would do, or, you know, like a heavy metal band would do, but this guy's trying it.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that it's not good to experiment as a band, like with different genres and stuff. But you know, it's what I've been saying during the show, that you need to keep the essence of the band, you know.
Yeah. You want to,
or the artist.
Yeah, if you want to keep up the following, man, you know, give the parts that people do appreciate about you and that like, and, you know, that's what's going to keep you going. That's what's going to make you get in the museums, and you could be 73 years old, still be on stage and still see a full crowd.
Yeah. Or like if you want to release a song like Sky Full of Stars, like Coldplay did, maybe okay, release it, but as a side project, or I don't know. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe they've answered an interview, but I do know what you mean there. Yeah, just be like, hey, this is something else. We're just giving it a try. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, something like that.
I know a lot of artists do that on SoundCloud, when they say like, oh, this is an unreleased mix, whatever, we're just trying something different. Give us a listen, say what you feel like. I mean, maybe they did that. I don't know. I'm not really a huge follower in Coldplay. I got appreciation for them. Viva La Vida, that album, I know that was a pretty thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Coldplay is good. I like
Coldplay's
Coldplay.
a great band. Respect to them.
Yeah.
Well, they're not the only band that's tried different stuff. I mean, if you want to stay in the game, once again, you gotta roll with the punches.
Mm-hmm.
See what else you can do.
Yeah.
Don't just stick with hardcore rock all day long. I mean, you got to address, like your dad was saying. I love Metallica, but their songs are too long.
Yeah.
Well, when they first started out, they were just a bunch of young, energetic metalheads. I mean, they loved to headbang and stuff. What was their Kill 'Em All? Oh, that's just nothing but pure energy, man.
Yeah.
Estrogen and hormones put into the mic, hardcore. I mean, yeah, as they got older, they had to do stuff too. And that's when stuff like The Unforgiven,
Mm-hmm.
all those great ballads and stuff, that's what makes them kings, man, when it comes to the metal/rock history.
And I think that you should like whatever it is your genre, like your favorite genre, if you start a band or you become an artist doing that, like if you're in a rock band or you're a rap artist, you should always look to that, like, to evolve. And for example, talking about other genre, I believe that Kendrick Lamar has done that.
Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, with his last album, To Pimp a Butterfly.
I got a lot of respect for that guy because he, just like Beck, he's strange, but
yeah, but I mean it's evolving.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and musically, the album musically is amazing. And there's this song, I believe it is For Sale. The name of the song is like the second song of the album.
Mm-hmm.
That he starts rapping on top of this jazz track, and it's insane and it's amazing. Like like I haven't seen anybody right now from that genre doing something like that.
Doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
and that's why he's on top.
That's why I believe that Kendrick is the best rapper right now.
Yeah, I agree. Kendrick's. I'm not really big into the genre, but I give credit where credit's due, and I see what that guy's doing all the time, and it's pretty boss.
Yeah,
I will admit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just one more question before we sign off here.
All right.
You're an artist, and you're getting there. You're trying your best. Working on social media, playing the guitar all the time. What advice could you give to listeners, artists trying to get somewhere with their music, just like you and me? What advice can you give them?
Well, I'm gonna quote Dave Grohl here. If you have a band and you wanna get somewhere, just play live. I mean, go do some songs, go out there and play, and like do your best. And if you're good at what you're doing, and you believe that you're good, somebody else is gonna recognize that. And I believe that everybody should chase their dream in music that way. Like, don't be afraid to put your stuff on the internet or show it to someone else. It's you never know what you're gonna receive from that. For example, like for the portfolio class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I almost didn't turn in my the work I did because it was a homework, and it was something that I wasn't actually proud of, the song I did.
So an assignment where you had to make a song?
Yeah, it was an assignment where I had to make a song.
Okay.
Like it was like 32 measure song.
Okay.
And I turned it in. Anyway, just because, like, let's see what people think about it, And I played it, and when it ended, I was like, oh, it wasn't that good. Probably people are thinking that, it's okay, And actually yesterday, a guy from my class, he walked to me and he said like, hey, I want to produce a song with you. I liked a lot what you did on the portfolio class. So you see what I was like, really? You like that? You like that thing I did? Really?
Just put it out there. You never know what
you never know
think.
Who's gonna like it. Don't be afraid.
You may think it's garbage, but the next day he or she's gonna be wanting to play with you.
Yeah, and I believe that you should also push yourself. Do your best. Like, be proactive. Record stuff. Anything. Like, do something. Yeah.
Do what you gotta do to make it.
Yeah, and don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy.
No,
Amen,
never.
dude. Amen.
Yeah.
All right, well, Carlos, I appreciate the advice, man. I'm sure any of the people are going to be agree with you there, and I hope that your career, gets to the next level, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for inviting me to the show.
Of course, man. Thank you for coming. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 3. Thank you for tuning in. That was Carlos Gomes, the guitarist, soon to be legend. Be sure to tune in. I'll be putting as much as I can of Carlos in the link in description. Be sure to look up his old band, what was their name one more time?
Tráfico Libre.
Free Traffic, ladies and gentlemen.
Free Traffic.
Free Traffic. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Kirby Farrell. This was KirbKast. Thank you, and I'm signing off.